Fashion is one of the strangest artistic worlds out there. It takes on many different forms, and can range from practical all the way to unhuman. Unlike many other forms of artistic expression, fashion is something meant to be displayed on the human canvas. It's meant to take shape over our physical states and be reapplied time and time again. You can hang up an abstract painting or position an abstract sculpture, but fashion expresses itself whenever you are physically present, which in my opinion makes it more powerful and valuable. This also means that fashion can be expressed in bizarre and unforgettable ways. For those who don't know, a runway show is simply a way to display fashion in a directly present manner, with models walking up and down a set path for people to watch. It's a vague, simple premise, and as a result of this, runway shows are some of the most imaginative displays out there. It's practically a blank canvas, something to be molded in any way an artist sees fit, and that often leaves the viewers in a state of shock and awe. So let's take a look at some of the strangest, most memorable runway shows in modern fashion history. Alexander McQueen was known for his very eccentric displays on the runway. His shows were often some of the most captivating and abstract, such as his 1999 Spring-Summer runway show. Although runway shows often serve as forms of marketing for a designer, this show was far from that. It began with models walking around a pair of unmoving robotic arms set up on both sides of the room. These appear to be much like the ones used in car painting and detailing. However, strange enough as this display was, its end was the main defining moment of the show that got it on this list. Famous model Shalom Harlow stood in between both robots, at the center of the room in a white shoulder strapless dress held down by a waist belt. The floor under her was revealed to be a turntable as the model began spinning around to the tune of increasingly loud operatic music. The robots then began to spray the muslin of her dress with a clash of black and yellow paint, as a reference to the works of Jackson Pollock. She then exits the runway, now covered in paint. A strange show indeed, exemplified by its bizarrity and unexpected nature. On July 12th of 1998, Yves Saint Laurent held one of their largest fashion shows to date, inside the Stade de France stadium during the World Cup finale game that year. With such a large outreach and audience, over 1.7 billion television viewers and 84,000 stadium viewers, this show had to be memorable, and that is what it was. Laurent brought over 300 fashionable pieces hand-picked from over 174 different collections, from the designer's archives to fill the stadium with. Although it only lasted 15 minutes, Saint Laurent's show was massive, requiring a team of 900 people and a troupe of famous fashion models, such as Carla Bruni and Letitia Casta. At the end of the show, the models all met in the field's center and positioned themselves to form a giant version of the company's logo. It was truly an awe-inspiring event, and something anyone in the world of fashion can look up to. Never before had such a variety of carefully chosen pieces seen such a major event with such a wide viewership. However, it was also equally important for another reason, as it signaled Laurent's end in fashion, with him retiring less than 3 years later. It truly was a way to go out. In 2018, Versace held a spring runway show as a form of tribute to Gianni Versace, the late brother of Donatella Versace. Many references to his famous 90s works and collections could be seen throughout the show, including even the model choices, who made a return at the finale of the event. The show's soundtrack was actually a voiceover of Donatella speaking about her brother's legacy, and it was played as models wearing retro-inspired pieces walked the runway. Elements like old logos and 90s prints donned the many t-shirts displayed on stage. The end of the show, however, was its defining moment, when 5 models, Carla Bruni, Claudia Schiffer, Naomi Campbell, Cindy Crawford, and Helena Christensen, walked across the runway in golden chainmail dresses, an unforgettable display. In 2021, during the very first virtual fashion week, Moschino's creative director, Jeremy Scott, held a very unique display as a solution to the rather unorthodox event. He got his inspiration from the worlds of Theatre de la Mode, 1945. The idea for these Paris-based collections was a rather strange one, and that influence can be seen in Scott's show. The initial idea was created by Robert Ritchie, who got over 60 fashion houses across France to donate many of their works to his abstract collection. He used these dresses to make miniature ones that were then fit on 2-foot tall mannequins and displayed in the Louvre. The 237 pieces were used to raise money for World War II war relief funds. And so you can see why Scott would be inspired by this, and for his show, he decided to do very much the same. He created over 40 different sets to be shown on small marionettes that held some resemblances to his favorite runway models. He then walked these figures across a mini runway that was lined with many puppeteered replicas of famous fashion VIPs, such as Hamish Bowles. It was a very alternative show with a clear focus on an entertainment factor as a way to express its eccentric nature. And for a strange event in a strange time, it most certainly was memorable.